Independence is not an easy thing. It should not ever be taken for granted. You should always be ready to guard it and fight for it. Good afternoon, this is Henry Keane on UATV English, breaking hard truth in easy terms for the whole free world directly from Ukraine. Ukraine celebrates its 32nd anniversary of independence in 2 days on August 24th. Before the war, all sorts of festive events were held in Kyiv and other cities, but the full-scale invasion of Russia did the amendments to the schedule, of course, but not to the spirit of the nation. The Ukrainian capital will celebrate one of the most important days in the history of independent Ukraine, and here is how. Marking the Independence Day of Ukraine, a burnt enemy military equipment is placed on Krещатик Square in the heart of the capital of Ukraine, Kyiv. For the second time in a row, Ukraine is celebrating Independence Day during a full-scale Russian invasion. We never compromise the safety of the people. The terrorist states of Russia would love to see us cancelling all the festive events and celebrations, but it is impossible to cancel and destroy the love and pride of Ukrainians for our country. As long as there is a threat of enemy air raids, instead of the marching Ukrainian army, Krещатик will receive parade of Russian military scrap. The one that failed to reach Kyiv on its own in 3 days' war and was carried here by the Ukrainian army, roasted along the way to a safe degree. Oh, we do understand the enemy will do everything to disrupt the celebration. Well, what can I say? Ukraine has become way stronger and has all the means to respond to Russian terror. We are ready. It is all about the mindset, you see, about that full paradigm of master and slave. So to better understand what Russia in general and Putin in particular is, you have to understand just one thing. Even a free man can be captured and imprisoned. However, during captivity, he will stay a free man in captivity and not a slave. Thanks to that crucial difference in mindsets between the two, a free man in captivity dreams of freedom, a slave dreams of becoming a master. On August from 19th to 21st, President of Ukraine Volodymyr Zelensky paid official visit to Sweden, the Netherlands and Denmark. On August 22nd, he took part in the summit of the Balkan countries in Greece. Zelensky openly travels the world and meets the leaders of partner states, while outdated Soviet Emperor Putin cannot personally attend even in the BRICS summit, fearing his arrest in South Africa. He just chills in the bunkers, probably. Sometimes I wonder, since Putin is indicted and that ICC warrant has been out, and since Putin loves his bunkers so much, why don't we just keep him locked in? I mean, we all love to see him 6 feet under, right? Well, he is already. Just keep on sending him those news about his victorious army, while the visit of the president of Ukraine to the countries of the Northern Europe was extremely successful. Defense issues resolved, support for the Ukrainian peace formula received. Another massive win for Ukrainian diplomacy.
The main thing is what we prove with our victory, with our cooperation, what you prove supporting Ukraine. Together, we prove that life is a value, that people matter, freedom matters, Europe matters.
The most significant achievement is the confirmation by Amsterdam and Copenhagen, of course, of these F-16 fighter jets. 70 Ukrainian pilots master these jets in Denmark right now. It was also agreed that Ukraine will produce, yes, in Ukraine, powerful Swedish combat vehicles CV-90s, which, equipped by anti-tank missiles, have already been successfully tested on the battlefield. The leader of the mercenary PMC Wagner, Yevgeny Prigozhin, recorded a video message, apparently in Africa, in which he declared that he was fighting for the, I quote from here, justice and happiness of African peoples. Well, it is no surprise. A clear course of events have led to this. First of all, we all remember Prigozhin's half-life coup in June. Second, the Russia-Africa summit in July in St. Petersburg, also not too alive, if you know what I mean. And you know, that summit in St. Petersburg was not a triumph for Moscow's foreign policy, to say the least. The actual representation of African leaders was lower than expected, despite Putin's outright attempts to corrupt them. African leaders have made it clear that they need no Kremlin's charity, but rather Russia's compliance to its obligations under the Black Sea Grain Initiative. So now with this new Prigozhin's voyage to Africa, Putin attempts to kill two birds with one stone. First of all, to reduce the possibility of another coup against him, or at least a military protest, which is very possible. No leader, no protest, Putin believes. Nope. It does not work that way, Comrade Putin. With the given level of dissatisfaction and low morale in the Russian army, for it to swell into another coup is only a matter of time. On the other hand, the Wagnerites in Africa are a powerful lever of influence on the geopolitical situation in the continent, in countries where the leaders shy away like from lepers from Putin and do their best not to maintain any relations with Russia. Revolutions, coups and military confrontations are likely to be expected. And that we see now in Nigeria. Mercenaries are a traditional tool of neocolonialism used against Africa and its peoples. These fits of Mike Orr, Bob Dinar, Jean Schramm and others wild geese were not forgotten here. Russia is obviously carrying out a new colonial expansion, in particular with help of PMC Wagner. Its goal is obviously enslavement of Africans and nothing else. Remember that master and slave paradigm? Told you. Prigozhin's militants have already proven themselves in Burkina Faso, Mali and other African countries simply as executioners. The criminal domination of Russia leaves after itself much worse consequences than the colonialism of European countries did. It solidly destroys, corrupts and robs. Russian propaganda, of course, promises help, friendship and equality to Africans and is especially venomous and dangerous. If you lose your vigilance and believe in sweet lies, you will swiftly be deprived of your freedom and it will be too late to resist. The development of proper, just relations with African countries is one of the priorities of Ukrainian foreign policy. This is manifested, in particular, through regular visits to the region by Foreign Minister Dmytro Kuleba. Africans are informed in detail about the armed aggression of Russia against Ukraine and its devastating consequences, as well as about the peace initiatives of Ukraine, which provide for the unconditional withdrawal of Russian troops. Supporting Ukraine does not mean being pro-Western or anti-Western. It means only one thing: adhering to the principles of international law, rejection of aggression, oppression and genocide. It means, instead of agonizing cruel Soviet enslavement paradigm, you choose life, peace and prosperity. It was Henry Keane on UATV English, hoping to give you the hard truth in easy enough terms in our daily wrap-up today. Comment, like and subscribe. Let us know, please, your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters the most to us. Stay safe and tune for more tomorrow. See you soon.